Xbox, Record This is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, Xbox, and the good old days. If you'd like to find out more, head to xboxrecordthis.com. No, hello. We are about an hour late to the recording. Welcome to Xbox Record This episode 6. First, I just want to shout out to Riverside. You guys suck. Your program has failed me 2 times now. I don't recommend you anymore. Started strong. Their customer service has been slow. It took a week for you guys to respond. Thanks for nothing, Riverside. So shout out to you guys. This is our Xbox E3 reaction. Super pumped. As always, joining me, the assistant to the co-host, Chipotle Bear. Welcome to the show, brother.
Figured out. At least we're still getting to record, and technically we're only 3 minutes behind schedule, our normal schedule, even though we've been here for an hour. But shout out.
Behind the scenes, we start at 9:30. We agreed to start at 8:30 tonight, guys. Maybe we were going to game after this, but now there's no way that's happening. So adjoining as the third leg of this tripod again. I'm not sure why we keep bringing him back. Everybody say hello to N7 Endorsement. Good to see you too, Chance. Let's just jump into it. We have show notes here. It says, thanks for everyone who's listening. We've gone up to almost 130 plays. Super pumped about that. I want to get, should we buy like advertisements? Do you think, you guys, should I buy some ads and like do a little ad in the middle of other people's podcasts saying, Xbox, record this, a podcast dedicated to gaming, Xbox, and the good old days. Should I do something like that, Jose? Chance, what do you think? Should we buy some ad space?
Will you be the one paying for it?
Well, considering I've paid for everything up to this point, yeah, sure, I'll pay for it.
Then
Jose,
absolutely, yes, I agree. We should
10 episodes, and then that's maybe the time to jump in. That's just my thought.
Okay, that's good thinking. But to be fair,
for Diwali 19.
I'm no longer Diwali 19. And to be honest, I don't even know why I had that forever. I was obsessed with the number back in like middle and high school before it became a cool number to have the teens, you know? And then the more I thought about it, I only had that number one time in my life. I think it was for baseball with you, Chance. And other than that, I never, oh no, I did have it for 1 year of 8th grade football, and I tore it up, by the way. But other than that, I was never able to wear it because in basketball, you can only have 1, 5, or 23. Like you can't have numbers only 1 through 5. So 1 through 5, 10 to 15, 20 to 25, etc. Like that, and that's as high as you could go because they couldn't do 1, 9 for saying if you got a foul or something. So anyway, long story short, 19 is a cool number, but I have really no strong connection to it. Let's get into it, guys. Xbox and Bethesda Showcase E3 2021. Let's jump into it. I'd like to go through, I'm going to go through the order of the show, and Chance, if you'd like, you can give me your ranking for every game. If you went through and ranked every single one. First of all, I'm truly impressed. I did my top 10. So should we do the top 10 at the end? Chance, what did you do? And feel free to unmute, you guys, and just try to be quiet. I don't mind interjecting.
The feedback I got was not great on that, so I went away from it. But I could easily do a top 10 for
Okay, sure. Yeah, top 10 or top 5. Chapo, what about you? Do you have any kind of like ranking, or are you just gonna be like, maybe can you give me 5?
I didn't do any ranking, but what I will do for next show is I will go through the E3 stuff and give us a score based on what we predicted and what actually occurred. So we do almost like a draft points, right? And who was the winner of this year's E3. I will have that for next episode, but I have not had a chance to do that yet. So I don't, I have the ones that I was expecting that I was super pumped about, but I don't have an exact ranking yet.
Okay, no worries. Maybe me and Chance will just do that at the end. And I just want to point something out, guys. I see something. Chapo Bear, you are at 0 of 0 megabytes uploaded. So to all our listeners, Chapo Bear is the official problem in this podcast. Shady is uploading. I am uploading. Chipotle Bear has that Walmart internet and it's not uploading. So something is up with your uploading. And I
just literally just did a speed test and I was 250 down and 30 up. So I'm just saying it's not my internet.
Something is wrong. It's the MacBook. Do you have a PC in your house? Why did I ask? That's a stupid question.
Why would I submit myself to that torture?
Can you get your work computer? I know you have a work laptop.
It's a Mac because I told my principal to buy me a Mac.
Do you hear that, guys? This guy's too good to get a PC at work. I can't even deal with this right now. I'm stressing out. Let's move on. Opening up the show. I'm going to freak out. It's a 0 right now. So we're going to have this, everybody watching and listening, we're going to have this fantastic show.
Now?
And then all of a sudden we're going to have, you're going to hear poor audio. Well, let's see how the backup does. We're going with it, guys. I apologize now. Riverside, figure this out. I'm going to clip this and tell you to figure this out because this is ridiculous. Why is his not uploading? Maybe Jose can look into why his is not uploading. Let's get into it, boys. I'm pumped. Xbox Bethesda 2021. Here we go. Opening up the show, we have Todd Howard coming out from Bethesda, and he talks to us about Starfield. Opens the show with the teaser, and from what I saw, I'm excited. But 11/22/22, very similar to the release date of Skyrim 11/11/11. I'm super excited. I just want to point out, I think I nailed my prediction here. I said,
come on. In all fairness, that was all of our predictions. Nobody wasn't going to say that.
Did you say 2022? I said spring. So what would you give me on this one? I said gameplay. They didn't really show gameplay. So I think I get at least a half a point, right? Are we going to
we all get a half? Whatever you get, we all get.
I'm the only one who said it. I said it first. Half a point for Diwali.
All right. Scoreboard, Jose, right? You're keeping track?
Yeah, Jose, keep track.
Next week, but I would give it to Dan, to be fair. I mean, the gameplay, maybe not the full point for that reason, but we did get he did the prediction that it was not going to be this year, but it was going to be exclusive, like pretty dope.
Yes, and that's the thing I forgot to say. Thank you for saying that. This is an official Xbox. Okay, I'm giving myself a 0.75. Write that down, or Jose, write that down right now with your pen and paper. 0.75 for Wally. I'm excited for it. Of course, I didn't think there was much to the teaser, but there were rumors afterwards. I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if I sent this to you. There was like an etching, on something, a ship piece or something, and it potentially looks like the next location of Skyrim. I'll have to send it to you. It did.
Hammerfell, and I saw that too. I forget.
Okay. Someone tweeted it. And I saw it was on a Reddit thread. So shout out to all those Redditors.
Hammerfell and something else.
Yeah. So anyway, regardless, that's kind of cool if that ends up being true. How awesome is that? But Chance, what were your feelings on seeing Starfield from what you saw, the short bit that we saw?
It was like you said, it was a slam dunk. It was like we kind of knew it was going to happen, and I was glad it did though, because it didn't have to, right? Like I think we get in this world where like, they have to do it, and I'm okay with 11/11/22. I want it to be a great game. I think we talked about this when a little bit when we talked about Cyberpunk and how that game wasn't ready. If they need to spend another year and a half and make it what it is supposed to be, which is a game they keep touting as 25 years in the making, great. Make it 26 and make it perfect. So
I also think, I remember someone was saying maybe they like transitioned into a different, I think maybe when Xbox bought them or when this was starting to happen, maybe I thought I heard someone saying that they're transitioning to a different engine or something like that. So maybe with the new systems and everything, maybe that's why it's been delayed a little bit more, or who knows, maybe it was always supposed to come out in 2022. But I do think it's a far ways away, but there's so many other games, like it's fine. I'm excited for it. So Jose, what did you think of Starfield?
I mean, I'm super pumped. I mean, I mentioned last time that anytime I see a space game, I want it to be like Dead Space. This is clearly not going to be in that horror genre, which is totally fine. I still think it will be great. I totally agree with Endorsement that they spent 25 years. I would happily spend another year to make sure that it's perfect when it releases, especially if there's going to be any kind of multiplayer or online stuff. That servers always get destroyed on day one when you have big online games. And so I really hope they can work out those kinks for that. The only tiny concern maybe is too strong of a word, but that I'm curious about is we've talked about on this show before. I don't want 100-hour game. And that sounds, that's like a weird conundrum because, right, if you spend 25 years, you want to put everything in there, the details, the stories, the side missions, the Easter eggs, like you really want all that stuff. But I that's my only concern is if they're like, it's a 200-hour game, that really might actually deter me from buying it quickly because that is such an investment of time. So I'm curious to see kind of what their campaign is going to be like, and other DLC and stuff. But I really truly am excited, obviously, for it to be next gen and exclusive to Xbox. It makes me really excited for what that means on other levels. And I think it looks like a cool game. I like space games, so that's kind of my thoughts.
Yeah, I always love sci-fi, and like Chance mentioned, Starfield. I'm looking at the Xbox Wire post, by the way, and that's where I'm going to get a lot of these descriptions. It says Starfield is the first new universe in 25 years from Bethesda, so that is pretty cool. This is their first completely new IP from Bethesda, and it is a create any character you want to explore an unparalleled freedom as you embark on an epic journey to answer humanity's greatest mystery. So does sound pretty cool. Someone was saying on Twitter, I was reading that it kind of looks like, I can't remember, I'll have to look it up, but a little bit of Star Wars-ish kind of art style in there. There were some more screenshots in there, and I'm excited. I mean, it definitely, when I was watching the trailer, it gave me some Fallout, and it felt like a Bethesda game. I don't know about you guys if you caught that, but it looked and felt like a Bethesda game, but it also looks very unique. So very excited. I'll wait for that 2022. I have no problem. Go ahead, James.
I'm a little confused because you said it about man's greatest mystery. I thought it was a space game, not one on how to keep your wife happy.
Oh,
I don't get it.
All right, Shady coming in hot. Let's move on to the next game. The next game, which was shown, was Stalker 2. And I personally don't know anything about the Stalker series. I don't know if Chance, have you played the Stalker game? No, Jose, no.
It'll look beautiful and it'll probably be cool, but I vote we move on.
Okay. So I kind of was the same way, but just to recover, I felt like it kind of looked like Metro, and it's a day one Game Pass game. So why would I not play it?
I don't know what I have zero expectations, zero idea of what it's going to be. Metro was exactly what I was thinking too. Great. And I think we'll talk about it a little bit later too, but the idea that it's day one Game Pass is my goodness.
Okay. Wait, Jose, let me read this really quick. Here's Stalker 2. The award-winning PC franchise loved by millions of players is making a true next-gen console debut with Stalker 2. Experience a unique blend of FPS, immersive sim, and horror. The Chernobyl exclusion zone is a unique, dangerous, and ever-changing environment. It promises a lot. The artifacts of unbelievable value can be yours if you dare to claim them. The price you may pay, on the other hand, is no less than your own life. One of the biggest open worlds to date, filled with radiation, mutants, and anomalies, is yours to explore all the choices across the way, not only to define your own epic story, but influence the future itself. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I thought I was watching another Metro trailer. Jose, what about you?
I did see an article today that someone had said that it may be impossible for this game to run on PS4 or the Xbox One. And so that weirdly kind of got me maybe at least intrigued that it's going to be so, I don't know if it's just the landscapes are so in depth or the gameplay so that they need the FPS engine or whatever it is that it can only run on the next gen stuff. So that got me a little excited. And I actually couldn't find, I didn't spend a lot of time looking, is Stalker 1 is not on Game Pass right now, right? Is it only PC?
PC only.
Yeah.
Okay. Because in reading about it, I was like, why would I not have played this game? And that was the only logical conclusion that I had heard is that it's only on PC, so I hadn't played it. So, but I'm interested. I'll check it out. I'll bring the review when it comes.
Yeah, and I think I will too. But like Chance said, it's just we don't really have any experience with the first one since we're not big PC gamers. So,
yep,
I'm interested. But again, this is on Game Pass, and just as a reminder, 27 of the 30 games we're talking about, Game Pass.
And that's what I'm saying, and that was the first thing that they said. Actually, that's what I thought we were going to start with. And I'm like, I used to go to E3. I've never been, but I used to watch it and just count up 60, 60, 60, like all the money I was going to have to spend. And I was sitting there. Ashley came like halfway through, and I was like 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think.
It's awesome.
And you know what's weird though, Chances? I kind of expect this now. Like, I'm a Game Pass member. I shouldn't have to pay for games anymore. It's so bad. So
it will be. It'll be like 5 years from now. We'll be like, ugh, you're paying. I saw. I was not even 5 years. I was scrolling down on the IGN feed, and it was like, where to pre-order Forza Horizon 5. I was like,
moving on. Third game, Back for Blood, Warner Brothers, Turtle Rock. Back for Blood is a thrilling cooperative first-person shooter from the creators of Left 4 Dead. Experience intense four-player co-op narrative competitive multiplayer as a human or ridden. So basically, these are the guys who made Left 4 Dead. Did we play Left 4 Dead together, you guys? I feel like we did. So again, wait, really quickly. I just want to say Game Pass, October, day one.
And it's a cool game. It's fun. I think that the issue that I would just be worried about, and not to just be the negative guy today, is Outriders. Like, I started playing with Endorsement, super fun game, but because we don't like live together anymore and because we have families, it's just hard to find that time to carve out to really commit to getting through the game. And so that's my only concern about Back for Blood, is that if you have to, if it's only online cooperative, that's just more challenging to get through. Yeah. But I like the idea. I like that they're trying to, create that connection between people. And so maybe that's just an optional aspect. Maybe you can go into like a lobby and just join 3 other people, or maybe you can still complete the game by yourself. I hope so. But it looks fun. I mean, who doesn't love bashing zombies in creative ways? Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah, I liked Left 4 Dead, but once I think I might have played with some of you guys and maybe finished with Alan. And once I finished, I was done with it. Some people just are diehard Left 4 Dead fans, and that's great. And I can see why. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm not sure I'll play this personally, just because it's competing with Halo and Battlefield. So sorry, between those two and the new Call of Duty potentially, like who knows. So the next game was a very quick and brief trailer from Xbox and Avalanche Studios for Contraband. Chance, do you remember this during the show, and do you have any thoughts on it?
It was exactly what you said you didn't want, which was that CGI doesn't really tell us much about the game, which I know we're going to talk about it later, that I'm sure you just loved. But so I was intrigued. I was like, this looks cool enough. Yeah. I need to know more. I'm happy to move on.
Jose, what about you?
I mean, again, at this point, I think it's just a lot's going to come out between now and like the fall, and I'm hoping we'll learn more about these games. Some of the ones we didn't get as much info about because they were focusing on the headliners. So that's all I got.
And I would say, Chance, you're right, but I think there's an exception. This was the first time we've heard of this game, and it seems like a new IP for Avalanche. And so I'm okay with the teaser, and I'm assuming this is a long ways out, but I was interested in what was shown. It says, from the creators of Just Cause, Contraband is a co-op smuggler's paradise set in a fictional world of this 1970s Bayan? I don't know what that. Coming day one with Xbox. I thought it looked cool. One thing that was cool that I saw on Twitter is that it uses like the old Microsoft logo on there, like from the 70s or 80s or whatever. So hey, it's a different setting. It sounds unique. I'm interested, but very brief, just to show. Actually, guys, that might be one of my predictions. Oh wait, no, I hit it on the end, so never mind. Number 5. The 5th thing we saw was Sea of Thieves. Captain Jack Sparrow comes to Sea of Thieves June 22nd campaign. This is what I've been asking for. I'm all in. I'm not even a big Sea of Thieves fan or Pirates fan, but I was all in on this. I got super excited seeing this.
That's a point for Chipotle Bear on that one. I called the Sea of Thieves in our last episode.
DLC though, that was. I'm gonna give you a. Fine, you get a point. Chance, what?
It's literally exactly. He wasn't announcing Sea of Thieves. Like, hey,
I felt like that was a gimme, to be honest, with the DLC content. But I'll give you the point.
And I was pumped. Cora happened to walk in at that point, and it was perfect. She's like, "I want to play this game, Daddy," and I was like, "Heck yeah, you do! This is going to be great. I can't wait." And then, and of course, because we're talking about Starfield 11/11/22. June 22nd, right? It's like that is 2 weeks away. Heck yeah. Week and a half, right? Like, so exciting. I'm pumped.
Same way, man. I mean, I'm super glad that we finally get a little bit of a story beyond the just multiplayer, even though it's been great. I actually am excited to dive back into the world of Sea of Thieves because we played it so early when it came out, and it was still fun, but it was clearly not developed or built out in the way we were hoping. And so I'm excited to dive back in off the plank, if you will, and see what it's like.
Yeah, so it says Season 3 update launches later this month, and with it comes Sea of Thieves, A Pirate's Life, an epic original story that brings Captain Jack Sparrow and his crew sailing in from beyond the horizon to spark new adventures spanning 5 narrative-driven tall tales. So I'm hoping this is campaign content, and it would be pretty cool if we could play it together. I'm totally down to play it when that comes out, if that's the case. I've always thought Sea of Thieves was a beautiful game, like hands down, still one of the best looking games. So I'm excited for Sea of Thieves. And then here's the first super big one for me. Well, Starfield was big, but that's a ways out, so I'm okay with it. Number 6, Battlefield 2042. Sadly, not on Game Pass, which I guess I'm gonna have to buy this stuff.
It's worth the money, hands down. I'll still be midnight launch if they do it.
I agree, and all I wrote for my description for this was "get hyped." Chapo Bear, what are your thoughts on?
I thought you were going to say "get crunk." I thought that's what your tagline was going to be. I mean, so I'm of course super excited. Like, I know we saw the leak. I think it was just before last week's recording, and you know, it just. They do so many super cool things in Battlefield. You know, like I think they said in the trailer, like just destruction at a massive scale, and just I love that it's what they said 128 game matches,
correct.
Like battles. That's in the incredibly high graphical fidelity that the world is going to be in, to have that kind of a experience again, assuming they master those servers, because those are always the issues. It's just going to be incredible, and I'm super excited to be back in the world of modern weapons. As much as it has been really cool to go historically and see some of that, I'm excited to have. I hope the medic class is back. I told you, like, I'm just ready to be there, pump you guys up as you get knocked out. I need you. That's what I'm super excited for. So it makes me really excited for Battlefield, you know, and something new.
And I got huge Battlefield 4 vibes. Like, I thought everything they were showing, I was like, this looks like Battlefield 4. And that was a good thing. And I love Battlefield 4. Let me finish, Jose. And like you said, my biggest concern is if it launches broken like Battlefield 4 did, that was a big disappointment. Like, I hope everything they showed works, like all the players, the Levolution, the grappling hook, the flight suits. Like, there's just so much going on. Like, this looks amazing, and it looks like Battlefield. And so I'm super pumped. Jose, what were you going to add?
The flight suits where they talked about how you can jump into the tornado, and I was like, I just can't wait till the first time we're like, here we go. It's like we're all in together. It's going to be great. The other thing, I didn't know this, but I read an article afterwards that that scene in the trailer where the guy jumps out of the jet, bazookas the other jet, and then grabs on. I guess that actually happened in a game. Like, that's actually, I didn't know that. That's a really famous clip. So I'm just behind the times apparently. But
Battlefield noob.
But that was rad, man. It makes me excited that they follow that.
That was
and I can segue from that. Yeah, and because that was, I enjoyed Warzone, right? Like, that was something that got me back into gaming with friends a little bit. But I played a lot of it. It's not Battlefield, right? And that gameplay, watching it, I was just like, it was almost like I forgot everything that Battlefield was. And a moment like that, or when they take the ATV and launch it at the helicopter, like, how many of those did we have, man? And back when we used to say Xbox record this, right? Just over and over. You would hear one of us saying that between the 12 of us playing every 5 seconds, it felt like. So excited. And so I guess I lied. It wasn't $0. I'm up to 60 now, I guess.
Yeah. Well, actually, you're a Game Pass subscriber, so you get a discount. So it's going to be
53.
Yeah, there you go. One thing I also wanted to say that was really cool in the trailer was when they're riding up the elevator and you see that menu pop up that was like a cross there, and you can like change your attachments on the fly. That has been one of my biggest complaints about Battlefield was editing your loadout. It was awful in every game. You always had to do it at the end of the game. Like,
because you needed time. You need lots of time.
That's so cool. That's such a cool thing. And Call of Duty, I'm sure, is going to have to implement that. Like, if it works, like if all of this stuff works, Battlefield has so much potential to be a great multiplayer game. But it has to work. And the last time they had a huge launch with the modern weapon, like, it's ambitious. I'm super excited. This will be one game for sure I am buying day one. And thank you, Game Pass, for my slight discount on it. Any more thoughts for Battlefield, or should we move on? So
that was great, though. We're
yeah, super excited. I'm a huge Battlefield fan. BFC, Battlefield Bad Company 2, might be my number one all-time favorite multiplayer game. Number 7 up. We've heard about this game for so many years now. 12 minutes, the top-down looking game where you like get killed at like 12 minutes, and it's kind of like live Die Repeat or Edge of Tomorrow. Like it's like a loop or whatever. I want to play this game. Chance, do you know anything about it? I'll read the
Yeah,
description
and
after you talk about it.
no, go ahead. You can start.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm excited. I love it. I think it's a lot like what Chapeau was saying, where it's not going to be this 100-hour game. I assume it's obviously going to be longer than 12 minutes, and you do that 12-minute time loop. I'm wondering if it'll be obviously not like the Outer Wilds, where you realize there's a 12-minute thing, but that there's a reason why that's happening, right? And that maybe I assume that your goal is to get out of the time loop, and even if that's not what happens, I think it still looked really, really cool and really intriguing.
Let me interrupt.
And again, yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me go. I'll go after
I'll
you're
be
done.
I'll be playing it day one, and I'll be paying $0 for it.
Yes. Thank you, Game Pass. And sorry, I'm going to do a better job reading the description. Jose, it says a romantic evening takes a wrong turn when a police detective breaks into your home, accuses your wife of murder, and knocks you unconscious. In a heartbeat, you are immediately returned to the start of the evening before it all happens again and again. A real-time interactive thriller where you will need to use the knowledge of what's about to happen to change the outcome and break the 12 minutes loop. Don't get me wrong. I don't sound very excited. I'm super excited to play this game. I'm just sick of hearing it so much. Like, I want to play it. Like, can we play this game? And so luckily, August 19th of this year, we will be playing 12 minutes. I can't wait. I absolutely am going to play this. This is actually one of my high ones on my ranking. So Chapo Bear, what do you think of 12 minutes?
I'm excited. I definitely, it's not high on my list to check out. And I still will. And I'm not hating on it by any means. What I think about my only thoughts about games like this, or I think of like Heavy Rain was PS3, right? It was Heavy Rain. It was very beautiful and it was a cool idea. It seemed to drag on at parts a little bit where I just would get frustrated with like, I need something a little more enticing. And so this doesn't necessarily look like that for the record. I'm not saying it's going to be Heavy Rain, but it's just not, it's not in the genre that I would like immediately like day one have to play, but especially, I guess depending on your guys' reviews, once you played it, if it's really worthwhile. And if it is like a 12-hour, 10-hour banger, like I'm definitely in for that. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm sure it'll be fun and gratifying. And especially if it's like puzzle based, I'm cool for that too.
Jose, I don't know if you knew this, but Ray, what's the actress's name? She's in it. And who's the other guy? Chance, the big one. What's his name? Oh, from Spider-Man.
Don't Google it. Do not Google it.
He was a villain.
He was
in
the
Spider-Man.
Goblin.
He was the Green Goblin. Who's the Green Goblin? William Dafoe he's in it, man.
Yes.
He's one of the main characters in it. So him and Daisy Ridley are in this game. So I'm hyped, Jose. I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be more than like maybe 5 hours Chance, hopefully, which would be awesome. I'm all about these shorter experiences, something unique and different, and that's what I'm going to talk about at the end too. So super excited. 12 minutes, August of this year. Cannot wait. Next up was Double Fine's Psychonauts 2. August 25th, 2021, Game Pass. The description for Psychonauts 2, Rasputin Aquato, trained acrobat and powerful young psychic, has realized his lifelong dream of joining the international psychic espionage organization known as the Psychonauts. But these psychic super spies are in trouble. Their leader hasn't been the same since he was kidnapped. And what's worse, there's a mole hiding in their headquarters. Raz must use his powers to stop the mole before they execute their secret plan to bring the murderous psychic villain Maligula back from the dead. I have not played Psychonauts. I want to play the first. I hear it's really good. I'm going to play this day one. I need to play the first one on Xbox before this comes out. August 25th. I'm all in on Psychonauts. I think it looks really cool. It's unique. I love platformers. There was one scene where he was like kind of bouncing down like one of those things where you drop the ball and it like randomly falls down. What are those called? Like it's on a video game too, where they're like different. Yeah. Where there's like the different numbers at the bottom. Yeah. And like, it just looked super unique. I love platformers. So I'm all aboard Psychonauts 2. I cannot wait. I need to play the first one. I haven't played any other Double Fine games. I don't know if you guys have played Brutal Legend or any of those, Chance. What are you thinking of Psychonauts?
I think if I had to choose right now, I'd rather go back and watch the Austin Powers trilogy than play Psychonauts 2.
you're all into like mental health. Like you loved Senua's Sacrifice, right? And you kept talking about how it like really focused on mental illness.
Not even close to the same things.
But so I in the newest Game Informer, I was just reading about it. It was all about Psychonauts, and they were talking about how they actually spent a lot of time making the enemies in Psychonauts 2 like reflections of mental illness in a like cartoony way.
That's really cool.
Said that, but it's not the same. And dear God, if we could have a not spoiler free, a very much spoiler filled Senua conversation sometime.
Yeah, maybe
there's no way it's going to be the same. It's
okay. That may be, but
league.
Tell me why Psychonauts is not appealing to you. Like, let me ask you this: would you play Ratchet and Clank if that was on Xbox right now? Why would you play that over?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
Did you play the last one on PS4? The reboot.
I feel like I got it on a GameFly and sent it back pretty quick afterwards and didn't finish it.
This is like a game you could play with Cora, though.
I'm shocked.
Literally.
I'm shocked. All right, Jose, would you play Psychonauts?
Yeah, I wouldn't have before I got the Game Informer issue, and I was reading through it and I was kind of like, okay, I think honestly, if I'm being super honest here about some of these games, would I play it? Yes. Will I play it? I don't know. It comes down to time, right? So like, I still got to get through Mass Effect. I got freaking Cyberpunk to go through. Then we're gonna have Sea of Thieves. Then we're gonna have Halo. Then we're gonna have Battlefield. I mean, just like that's my only concern is like the consumption rate that I can get through. But if I found a lull and if I got a glowing review from you guys or some of the online folks, like I would definitely consider checking out. I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah, and I just think I've heard such good things about Tim Schafer over there at Double Fine, and I'm upset that I haven't played Psychonauts, so I feel like I owe it to them. And being an Xbox studio, an IP I haven't played, I will make time for Psychonauts. So moving on, after that we had Pete Hines, another Bethesda boy. I follow him on Twitter. Shout out to him, DC Deacon. He comes out, he talked about Bethesda. Basically, I think 30 Bethesda titles are now on Game Pass. They added a few more. I think probably the original Doom, some other Fallout games, all kinds of stuff. And they did mention Doom Eternal optimized for Series X, 4K, 60 ray tracing. I need to ask right now, have any of you guys played Doom Eternal? Jose, did you? Okay, Jose did. Yeah, Chance did. I don't think Chance did, right?
I tried it. I tried it on the Game Pass streaming, and I was like, you know what? This is too good of a game to play on my cell phone. And I didn't know, and it should have been one of my predictions, but I was like, they're going to make this. They're going to do a Series X release for this. And so I waited, and I'm excited I did, because he even set up to 120. And I just, oh my God. And my TV's just going to crush it. I can't wait.
Do you have 120 hertz on your TV? Do you have HDMI 2.1?
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, Dan.
I don't know. I thought that was the
model. It's beautiful on it.
Wow. Lucky you. I don't have that. I still need to get a new TV. Doom Eternal, Chance, was one of my favorite games that I've played recently, and it's a challenge but rewarding.
Dude, there were some bosses that were freaking hard, dude. Like legit.
I don't want to spoil
it was dope.
There's one particular enemy you've probably heard about. Once you figure out the trick to beat him, he's not that hard. But like at first, you're like, this is stupid. Like I was streaming it, and Snelling was just laughing at me when I was trying to defeat this one enemy, because I was like, this is stupid. This is not fun. But what a fantastic game. The movement, Chance, in Doom Eternal.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. And why would you
I'm really
play that
glad
on your
I
phone?
saved
no
it.
offense. That's
no, because so
idea.
I think it was one of those games that I still had just hadn't played yet. And when the cloud gaming came up, I was like, I really want to play this. And of course, like I said, I tried, and I was like, no, this isn't going to do it justice.
Yeah.
So that's when I played Slay the Spire instead.
Yeah, definitely play it. Amazing game. I actually am thinking about buying the DLCs to play those. So I think that led into Fallout 76 DLC. Here's the description. Fallout 76 gets the Steel Rain update, and another expansion called their Expedition: The Pit. It's never a dull moment in Appalachia. Whether you're just emerged from the vault or been settling the area since launch, Fallout 76 has a ton of exciting content. There's an all-new Steel Rain questline in the upcoming free week in sales, plus the reveal of the expeditions. Have you guys played 76? Am I the only one who played it and beat it?
I just know all it's going to do is it's not going to scratch my Fallout itch. It's going to make that itch even scratchier, I feel like.
I think you're underestimating it. I had a great time and I played it completely by myself, and I felt like I was playing a Fallout game. It was a little weird not talking to anybody, but they've added in NPCs, and I haven't even played that DLC yet. And I felt like I was playing a new Fallout game, and obviously an older, janky, Fallout 4, not like an updated, brand new one. But if you're getting a Fallout itch, I think it'll scratch it very well, Shady. So if you have time, who knows if you have time, I do think it's worth playing. Up next, number 11, Elder Scrolls Online. Console enhanced release June 15th. So wow, that's coming up in a few days. So the enhanced edition will come out June 15th, and it will be 4K 60 FPS. So that's pretty awesome. And it also improves draw distance, textures, reflection, shadows, load times, and more. ESO has never looked or played this good on console. Are we jumping into this, boys? Because I know we all played it before, didn't we? Okay, chances. No. Moving on, next game. I downloaded it recently, and I want to play it, but it's just another time sink. You're right, Jose. Am I really?
And shout out to ESO. It is actually a dope game. It was fun. It's not. They didn't do anything wrong. It's just we all started it, and we played 2 or 3 nights together, and then we were like, this is going to become like a 300-hour game if we really get into it. And we just all had other stuff we needed to do, and just you just can't play them all. It's just not possible unless you don't have a job or families or children, which all 3 of us do. It's just not going to work out.
It's so true. There's so many other games, and it has bad achievements. Chance, I don't know if you remember that. I think I have one. It's one of 5,000. So I have I don't even have. It shows how it shows the percentage that you have on the game. It still shows 0 for me, even though I have some. So anyway, moving on. Like Jose said, I think Elder Scrolls Online is awesome. It's a huge success, but just something unfortunately us old middle-aged men don't have time for anymore. Up next was Party Animals by Recreate Games. Fight with or against your friends in Party Animals. Choose your character from a diverse cast of adorable animals as you battle it out across multiple game modes to be the last one standing in an ultimate competitive brawler. Paw up, grab a plunger, and get ready to party like an animal. Day 1 on Game Pass. Chance, what do you think of Party Animals?
So excited, and I think I could get a quarter of a point maybe for this one because
I think it's a full point. You said a party game. That's what you added for
the Fusion Frenzy. I was like, I want something that's like Fusion Frenzy or Mario Party that is something that we can play with our friends. It's literally exactly what I asked for.
Right.
Other than
I get 1 point for my first prediction. Then
Jose, we're not going to do these half points. This isn't a crazy grade book here.
It looked amazing. And again, that was another one that Cora looked over and was like, well, that looks great. And then the next screenshot was a unicorn playing. And she's like, well, no, now I'm in for sure.
Sign me up.
I can't wait. I think we're going to spend too much time playing that game.
It did look funny. I never played a game like it, but I was laughing. I was like, that looks hilarious. And if it's anything like Fall Guys, maybe, which is supposed to come to Xbox eventually, I'll definitely get it. Game Pass. Why would I not play it? Jose, are you going to play some Party Animals with us?
We didn't mention this last time we talked about that, but one of the best parts of those kind of games was that because you can drop in and out so quickly, it makes things flexible. So it's like, if Alan wants to go to Taco Bell to get dinner, it's like, okay, he's just going to miss a couple of games. Or if Snelling's like, I got to go deal with one of my kids, that I think is one of the best features of these kind of games is that it's not so dependent. And I'm not saying you can't do that in Call of Duty or anything, but legitimately when we're waiting for someone in the lobby and it's like, look, our loadouts have been ready for 15 minutes and we're ready to go. It's annoying where this, you could just, because they're such quick games. I like that aspect. So I'm looking forward to this for sure.
I'm pretty sure he dominated it on the Switch. Hades, August 13th of this year. Xbox Game Pass, day 1, of course. Recipient of more than 50 Game of the Year awards. In this roguelike dungeon crawler, you'll wield the powers and mythic powers of Olympus to break free from the clutches of the god of the dead himself, while growing stronger and unraveling more of the story with each unique escape attempt. Chance, I've heard so many good things about this game, and yet for some reason, I never played it on Switch, and I'm not so sure I'm going to pick it up. I feel like I need to because of how it, for many people, was Game of the Year last year, Tell me why I need to play Hades.
Well, it's on Game Pass, so it's free. Again, I probably would have paid another. I don't think it was a full $60 game. I want to say it was 40, and I would have paid it again. It was excellent. It was so tight and so smooth. The controls were. It was again one of those like it's simple to learn, but to master it, it was just so much fun. And it was. I remember hearing it billed as you actually look forward to dying because that's kind of how the story keeps going. And I was like, I don't know if that makes sense. And it absolutely was. It was like, oh yeah, sweet, I died. I get to go talk to this person again or that person again and build up my armory and get try out some new weapons and stuff. And it just was very, very, very well done. I'm super excited and I absolutely will be playing it again.
Jose, do you have any thoughts on Hades, or should I move on?
I definitely will put some time into this. I've always liked the Greek god mythos. I think that's a cool area to play in. The one question I do have for Shady is, how does it compare to Immortals Phoenix Rising? Like, I know they're very different play styles, like art modes and stuff, but like, what's the comparison there?
I would recommend Hades 1,000 times over.
Oh wow, okay.
Immortals.
Chance, you're saying it's more gameplay focused, but also story.
The story is simple and it's not anything. There's some spoilers that I won't get into, and it's nothing earth shattering, but it's good and it keeps you coming back for more. But the gameplay is so good, so good.
Is it in the same vein as what was the game that Cordy Morg told us to play where you just die over and over again? You know what I'm talking about? But you like that's how you. No, it's not Super Meat Boy. Game. God, I'm blanking on the name right now. It's on Games Pass. Dead Cells. Dead Cells is what it is. Is it like Dead Cells?
Oh, and I played Dead Cells too. Dead Cells is more. It's a 2D, I guess. Well, no. Hades isn't 2D. I don't know.
I'll say this.
Is Hades
Jose,
considered?
No. Jose, I don't know if you played the Prey DLC or heard about it. The one where you're on the moon crash DLC. That basically what would happen is you'd be alive, and if you died, you would start with another character that you had unlocked, and then the goal was to get everyone out. But if you died and your run was over, the whole world like changes. So it's kind of like that. So you're in a certain area. But one run, there could be like a door here and something on fire here, but in another, the door could be locked and it's completely fine, no fire on the other one. So I'm interested in Hades. I think I'm going to play it, but it also depends on how much time Chance tells me it is. But I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm very excited it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. Too many games. Moving on, this was one of the highlights for me personally. Up next was Somerville from Jump Ship, and I will read the description. In the wake of catastrophe, you must find the means to make your family whole again. Somerville is a sci-fi adventure grounded in the intimate repercussions of a large-scale conflict. Immerse yourself in handcrafted narrative experience set across a vivid rural landscape. Navigate your way through the perilous terrain ahead of you to unravel mysteries of Earth's visitors. Play Dame with Game Pass. You might not remember this one. Jose, if you did you watch, I'm assuming you watched the conference, but this was one of the ones that I was like, oh my God, is this from the makers of Inside? I got huge Inside vibes from this. It's kind of that side scrolling one with the family. So to me, it was like Inside meets War of the Worlds. I am super hyped for Somerville. Looks like a super quick and easy game. Chance, did you get those vibes, or were you just kind of met on this?
War of the Worlds, I thought it may have been a War of the Worlds thing because they didn't say the name until towards the end, and that is the exact franchise I thought of when I thought of it. Probably not as excited as you, but it definitely looked really cool. And again, will I be playing it? Absolutely, because it costs me $0.
What about the Inside comparison? Like at first, I was like, "Oh my God, is this from the makers of Inside?" I was freaking out.
I could see it. I would have, my opinion would have not changed had it been.
Did you play Inside?
No, I never played Inside though, so I didn't get that reference either. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna end the call and terminate. Obear is no longer he's back on the assistant to the co-host interviewee. He's back to being a temp right now because I go play Inside. I'm gonna go buy that for you right now. Next up, and this is probably one of my favorites from the show, I've been waiting far too long. Halo Infinite, Joseph, is it Staten, coming out talking about Halo. I thought it looked amazing. The trailer with Chief talking to the new AI that wasn't Cortana was, I was getting all emotional. I'm like, oh my god, where's Cortana? Who's this girl? What are you doing here? And where he's like, the missions always change. And when I'm loving what I'm seeing. Okay, I don't want to see any more about the story because everything they've shown me so far with the pilot and now with Chief and this new AI and Chief searching for Cortana, I'm all in on the story. I cannot wait to play it. They showed multiplayer. Apparently, actually, tomorrow morning they're going to show more on the multiplayer, like a big deep dive. So I'm definitely going to watch that. I cannot wait. But my biggest concern is they didn't give a release date. And I'm like, dude, if you guys delay this anymore, first of all, that's going to be a horrible look. But I'm hoping that it's just because maybe they're going to announce they're still trying to figure it out. Do they want to be like before Call of Duty Battlefield or after? Or maybe they're going to have a special edition Xbox Series X with it. I'm hoping that's the case. But to me, it's still a little strange that they didn't give a date. But at the same time, I think the game looks really good right now. And Jose, what did you think of the Halo? Did you see the Halo Infinite trailer?
Oh, of course. That was the first thing when I was like, I'm saying I have to make sure I see the Halo stuff. I think it looks beautiful, and I remember watching the original footage when they were talking about it a long time ago when everyone was like unimpressed. Seeing it now, I don't know if it was the same footage or if it looked better. I think it looked better, but it definitely like.
There's so much you can do, especially since this is an open world game.
Yeah, it's a fictional game.
It looks like Halo. Like that's the biggest thing. Like I'm super excited. I never thought that the game looked that bad. And you're right. It looked a little bit better, but I didn't think it was like freaking like Last of Us 2 or anything. And I don't think it has to look like that. Like they're just different games, you know? Like as long as it plays well, like isn't all that matters. Sorry, keep going.
No. I just saying. I think it looked really great. That was a great way to describe it. It looked exactly like Halo, but for a next gen, which I thought was cool. And definitely the part that was the highlight was the multiplayer trailer. Like that got me super jacked, just because just the frenetic gameplay and it was almost the combos. I had almost forgotten about that, where you're like, I'm jumping and throwing a grenade, and then I'm going to snipe this fool, and then I'm going to jump
to this.
Oh my god, that's going to add
stuff.
Such a cool element. It makes me feel like I'm going to have to, at least whenever they announce that date for like a month before, I'm going to have to jump back into Halo 5 multiplayer. I got to get those skills back up because I'm for sure deficient at this point, but I was super happy. Endorsement, what do you think?
The commentator gave me chills. He was like, double kill. I was like,
and he said like a new one too. He said something new, and I was like, oh my god. Chance, are you going to just play the campaign, or are you actually going to play some multiplayer?
Oh, I will be. I told you that a couple episodes ago that I'm really looking forward to. That's going to be the Halo that gets me back into Halo.
Yeah, and I agree. The multiplayer trailer was awesome. The different shaders, all the characters, the different game modes, and just seeing like the big team battle and people driving around. Like it just looks like so much fun, and it looks like Halo, and I can't wait. And I'm hoping like. I want Battlefield to be good, but I'm more confident in Halo having a better launch, because Halo 5 multiplayer, I remember, actually launched perfectly. There were no issues with Halo 5 when that launched because they messed up so bad with the Master Chief Collection. But I remember that ran well. So I'm hoping we get some sort of beta, which will be basically the game coming out. And I cannot wait. Halo is probably, remember when we're like, which one are you going to play more? It's probably going to be Halo, guys. It looks phenomenal. And if the campaign sucks me in, which I'm guessing, well, I can't wait. It's going to be a great change of pace too, because Halo is an arena shooter and big time battle, while there's Battlefield, which is completely different FPS, massive war. And then maybe, perfect with Call of Duty, and that'll be my battle royale. So maybe I don't need a battle royale in Halo or Battlefield. I could just, they each have their own purpose and bring different things to the table, which I love. So I can't wait for Halo, you guys. I'm a big Halo fan. So moving on, does anyone other Halo thoughts?
Almost going to be like a reset for the Master Chief, which got me really excited, because as much as it's been a great storyline so far and they've done a great job with it, he is central to that storyline. And so it's really, I don't know what they're going to do, but it gives me hope that they're going to do something really cool and new for the campaign story, so they can obviously continue this for many generations. So that got me excited. Just throwing that out there.
And I've also heard that too. And just from these trailers, you've heard the Chief say more than he probably has in so many different games. Like he's clearly the focus are like, let's just focus on him. And it's great. I'd love to hear more Chief. I'd love to get a more human side from him. So I can't wait. He's not just some, badass in a suit. So cannot wait. Halo Infinite. Give us a release date though. I'm a little scared about that. Next up was, I know Shady's going to be playing this one, Diablo 2 Resurrected from Blizzard Entertainment. Diablo 2 Resurrected is the definitive remastering of Diablo 2 and its Lord of Destruction expansion, two hallmark entries in the Blizzard Entertainment's genre-defining action role-playing series. So this comes to Xbox September 23rd, 2021.
Not Game Pass.
Not
though.
on Game Pass. This and Battlefield were two of the three
And
that
Far
are
Cry.
not on Game
Yep.
Pass. And Far Cry. There's the third. So I'm excited because I was never big into Diablo Chance until we played Diablo 3. And so I'm excited for this, but at the same time, it's like, am I going to pick this up day one?
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I mean, we'll see, and that'll be right around baby month old or so, hopefully at that point.
Ooh.
And I want to be excited, but
Yeah.
there again, here's our next like wave of gaming. Oh, it's not on Game Pass. I guess I'll have to skip it.
Or wait till 2020. Jamal Bear, what about you? Did you like Diablo 3? Sorry.
Yeah, 3 was fun, and I actually played a lot with Endorsement when it was out. Who doesn't love loot hunting with their friends and the classes and stuff? Will I play 2? Probably not. And something against it. It looks beautiful. Yeah. Diablo 2 is before my time in the PC gaming world, and so I don't have that same kind of affinity I do for some of my earlier games, but I respect it. I know it was a huge franchise, and it did a lot for that kind of gaming space. It's one of those where, like, maybe down the path, if it does come to Game Pass, it's like summertime, we have extra time. I could pop on for a few sessions for sure, or if it was a super cheap deal or something over holidays, I would consider it, but it's probably not a day one for me just because, again, we're going to have so much going on. And the other part of our equation for the three of us, at least, is that September is like crunch time at school. Everything's going crazy. So probably not, but looked beautiful. Super cool that they're doing some of these remakes because, again, it was such a historically monumental game, but it's probably one I won't play, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and I agree. I love Diablo 3 and I want to play this, but I just don't know. I was never a diehard fan too. Like I hear a lot of people saying like Diablo 2 is the best of all the Diablos, and I'd love to play. I'm sure maybe maybe we'll play down the road when it's for sale and we have a lull. So I'm excited for it, but will we have time? Who knows? Next up, Chance, I'm excited to hear what you think about this. A Plague Tale Requiem. I'm pretty sure you played the first one, and I still need to play it, and it is on Game Pass. So the sequel to A Plague Tale Innocence, right? Tell me your thoughts on this one. Day one, Game Pass 2022.
That was the second you could see the kind of swarm coming through. I was like, oh, it's got to be a Plague Tale, right? And that game was good. It was worth playing. It was short. It was fairly different in terms of like what the bad guy was in it, having the rat swarms and stuff. There were a couple of gosh, why am I drawing a blank? Spoiler things in it that you didn't expect coming. Curveballs.
Tell me that.
Sorry, yeah. And I'll play this one again because it's on Game Pass.
Can't beat the Game Pass. Do you have any thoughts, or do you want me to move on?
Oh, I know Chance had talked about the first game a lot. It's on my list eventually. I'd like to get there. It does. Hearing that it's a short game gives me a little bit of like, that's good to know for when I have those, like, I have a weekend and I'm not getting into a big game, but like, what could I play? That's cool. And you could bump out in a weekend. So, it's cool. And, as a side note, I think it's really one element of Game Pass that we haven't ever touched on, at least yet on the show, is how much think about developers like this who, like, would this game really be successful if it wasn't on like a Game Pass? Maybe. I mean, maybe it would make enough to make it justify the means, but my instinct says no. And having it on Game Pass exposes it to more people, get more people to play it, because it is kind of a niche era. It's a niche story, right? Historical fiction. And so I really applaud Game Pass's ability to do this for so many games so that, one, we can play them, and two, we can support other developers. So that's just an additional thought.
I can't say any better, and hopefully I'll get to the first one. Next up was a big one for me, and I hadn't actually seen any Far Cry 6 trailers before. Like, I know Ubisoft had their conference. I didn't see it. I loved what I was seeing. I love Far Cry. Far Cry might have been one of the last games I paid full price for, and this is probably one that I'm gonna have to pay the $59 or $69, whatever it is, to get. And depending if that release date, if there's nothing really big in October, I might be playing this day one, guys. I love Far Cry. I loved 4. 4 was the first one I played. Then I went back and played 3. I know everyone loves 3, but I liked 4. I don't know why everyone doesn't like that one. And then I played the last one, played all the DLCs. Oh, the Blood Dragon. I went back and played that. That's probably one of the best games ever right there for Far Cry 3. I love Far Cry. The only one I haven't played was Primal, and Chance says it's not worth it. So Chance, I know you're a big Far Cry guy. Are we playing this day one?
So 120, I guess we're up to 120, which looking back is probably not that big of a deal, right? Like there have been other E3s where you're like, oh God, I'm $7,000 in the hole. Absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, I think in my heart, I know that Blood Dragon was probably the best DLC ever released of any game, but then I can't not say Citadel, right? Like in the Citadel, it isn't, but it is, right? And so that Blood Dragon, man, I will always go back to Far Cry, and it will always be a full price. And I loved I got to see a little bit of like the backpack thing, but they didn't like probably tell you everything that it does, right? And just really excited.
I have never played a Far Cry, but not because I don't think they're good or because
I'm
don't like it.
hanging up. I'm officially hanging up on him now. The first inside now Far Cry.
You started at 4. Like, don't judge me for being like behind the times.
Yeah,
here.
but then I went back and played them anyway. Oh my
I know. I do need to play them. I saw this trailer and was super psyched, and it made me want to go back and play at least a couple generations of them before we get to 6, because I've always heard great things about them. They seem super fun. I love the creativity aspect, and of course, Gus from Breaking Bad is the villain in basically a version of Cuba. Super tight. I love that they had the old cars and the setting like of a revolution. Like it's just an awesome story, and it sounds like Far Cry always has awesome stories. So I will add that to my list of stuff to play after Cyberpunk. Really I swear,
they are worth it. And what's really cool, Jose, is the gameplay allows you to either be sneaky or go guns blazing or like. It's very unique, and it is kind of like point-to-point check-off Ubisoft game, but they do it in a really good way, and the collectibles are really good. Like they have these treasures where you find them, and they're worth it for upgrades, and the way sometimes you climb to get to and just figuring out small puzzles, right? Chance to get to the dude. Far Cry is the best Ubisoft game, I think, all around because the stories are entertaining, the graphics are phenomenal and not talked about enough in these games. The shooting is great. Like I said, the collectibles, you want to do them. You don't feel like it's dragged to do them. You want to do the collectibles, and it rewards you for doing it. Far Cry, the more I'm talking about it, I got to buy this damn one now. So Far Cry. Up next was Slime Rancher 2. Didn't play any of them. I vote to skip this one. This is probably, I know nothing. I'm sure a great game. Looked very colorful. Does anyone... Okay, we're going to move on. Slime Rancher 2 is coming to Game Pass. 2022. I know nothing about it. Sorry, Slime Rancher guys. Haven't played the first. I've heard about it. Moving on. I know this is... we lost Chapo Bear. Oh my God. All right, Chance. It's just me and you. Hopefully he rejoins. I think he got booted around this. Oh, now he's back.
No, it's because he really wanted to play Slime Rancher.
He's like I gotta go download it. Yeah, I know.
Slime Rancher was my number one reveal.
Right now.
Oh, yeah, sure. Next up was Shredders, a Xbox Game Pass, December of this year, snowboarding game. Does anyone want to talk about this? Chance?
Of course.
Chance. All right, Shredders coming out on Game Pass. Shred the nard. Yeah, brah. Way to go. Get the pow, man. Shred it. Yeah. Okay, moving on to number 21. And I should have been more. I have to ask this. Jose or Chance, have you guys been snowboarding before in your life or ski?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Everybody, when you say that to them that you don't, they're like,
what?
What? And I'm just like, sorry. I'm sorry. Again, kind of like with hiking and camping, I'm an adult with a job. I don't want to spend money getting cold and wet, and everybody gets hurt. Name one time
for hours.
Yes.
In traffic.
Somebody. Yes. Ugh. Snowboard, they can
Into this podcast in traffic, which is fine.
Yes,
if you're doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I got hurt too. That's what I got. I got basically a concussion the last time I went snowboarding, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go sit in the lodge and have a beer. I'll enjoy that aspect of Colorado.
Yeah, Cordy's girlfriend's mom, Margaret, she like busted her hip last time, and that was before she even got on her skis. So it's like, I'm just, come on, people. The boots, it's too hard to walk in. I don't care for it, but I'm pumped for shredders.
Shred the gnar.
Shredders.
I agree. Skiing is so overrated. Sorry to all our skier and snowboarders. It's expensive. You have to drive. You have to be in traffic. If I was rich and had a condo and I could stay up there all weekend and drink and have someone watch my kids, sure, I'd do it. But even then, like, you're cold. Like,
then I'd go sledding probably, right? Like, go down.
But
once,
even then,
it'd be fun. Sure.
When you're a kid. Moving on, number 21. This one looked interesting to me. I wrote, "What is going on in this game?" Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart is an action RPG that takes place in the Soviet Union in an alternative reality sometime in 1955, where technology like the internet, holograms, should be a comma, and robots have already been invented. The main protagonist is a special agent called P3, Xbox Phil Spencer P3, who is sent by the government to investigate a manufacturing facility that has fallen silent. Day one on Game Pass. I thought this looked interesting, unique. I remember I was listening to the Kind of Funny guys talking about it, saying it looks like even Hideo Kojima was like, what the heck is this game? But I was interested. I'm not going to lie. I will play this because it's on Game Pass. Jose, did you see this, or should I go to Shady on this one?
Most Fallout vibes. I mean, obviously not open world, but like the era and the robotic aspect and interesting. Like I agree with your statement fully. If because it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a shot and see how it goes, and we'll go from there. That's my thought.
Chance.
Sorry, yeah, same thing. I mean, it Game Pass, baby, Game Pass.
Okay, so I'm interested. No expectations, so I'll jump in this. And then this was another one. Here we go. Number 22 on my list, I might be off, was Replaced. Replaced was the game that looked like, I believe it was The Last Night. I don't know if it's by the same people, but I believe this is a separate game, and I'm trying to look it up now. But I said this game looks amazing. 2022 Xbox Game Pass. I'm really excited about it. It obviously didn't remind me of Somerville, but I feel like two kind of in the same vein of games, and if I had to choose one, I would have chosen Replaced. Nothing against Somerville, but like, man, I'm intrigued and can't wait to play more. I probably would have purchased it. I agree.
Now I don't have to.
Yeah, I was going to say Replaced is a 2.5D sci-fi retro futuristic action platformer where you play as Reach, or REACH, an artificial intelligence trapped in a human body against its own will. Replaced combines cinematic platformer, pixel art, and free-flow action combat with a deep, engaging dystopian story set in an alternative 1980s. Explore and uncover the mysteries in and around Phoenix City from the perspective of Reach, who is learning how to become a human in a society that has taken a turn for the worst. Everything is ruled by corruption and greed. The ones in power see humans and their organs as nothing more than just currency. Discover the dark secrets of Phoenix. Define your shared future. Day one on Game Pass. I'm super pumped. You're right. I don't know which one I placed higher on my list, but you're right. Both of this and Somerville, I'd buy. Jose, did you get a chance to see the Replaced trailer? I
mean, it's like it reminds me of like almost Blade Runner and Matrix combined into a game. Which I mean, both great games, and who doesn't love that dystopian future? So cool premise. Definitely would check it out because it's on Games Pass. So I'm excited.
Yeah, can't wait. Chance, do you want to add anything else, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
The next one was Obsidian, and Grounded with Obsidian gets its largest update yet. Today we shared a variety of quality of life improvements, including a big fan request, the ability to sit in chairs. We also announced a new base building and weapon upgrades, the Demon Orb Weaver Spider, and the Burge.L missions, pets, and more. I've wanted to play Grounded, but I specifically have been waiting just because I want the full game to be out. I want to play this game. I want to play Honey and Shrunk the Kids. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I'm just going to continue to wait until we get a full release. Do you guys have any thoughts on Grounded? I think it looks great. I've heard great things.
I would just say for the listeners at home, I mean, you basically look exactly like Rick Moranis, so that's probably why you want to relive that tale. But no, I agree. I saw the preview for this like a long time ago, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. Like, no one's that's a new idea for a game, so I'd definitely check it out. And cool, they're doing new stuff for it. So,
Chance, any thoughts?
Sea of Thieves, but I have this feeling inside of me that I'm like, I think we all played Sea of Thieves way too early, which was day one, and all 12 of us tried doing it all together all at the same time, and it just didn't quite work. So it's exact same as you. I'm kind of like, I want to wait till it is its own established thing, and then we can go in and not have to bug our way through it.
Yeah. I really want to play this. I'll continue to wait. Up next was Among Us is coming to Xbox Series S via Game Pass later this year. So Among Us is an online 4 to 10 person multiplayer game. Actually, I remember saying 15 player lobbies in the thing, so that was kind of a big deal, where you and your friends attempt to prepare your spaceship for departure. Work together and complete your tasks quickly, but beware, there are imposters on board. Among Us is all about communication, teamwork, betrayal, and deceit. Who knew sneaking around accusing your friends of murder and being wrong could be so much fun? Have any of you guys played Among Us on any other platform? So Jose, tell me about it, because I get the premise of it. So basically someone like is the murderer and you have to determine who it is. It kind of reminds me of like that wolf game we played, right? Where somebody's the
one night werewolf. I guess kind of. So it's super hot with high school kids, or it was at the start of the pandemic.
Huge deal, man.
And you could play it on your phone, so it's super accessible. It's like big in the like the Twitch worlds, right? So like people like Pokimane and all of them play it and stuff, streamers. I mean, it's fun. I actually played with students a couple of times. I mean, the basic premise, if you've never played or you don't know what we're talking about, every person gets a little sprite on the screen. It kind of looks like a guy with 2 legs and a little face mask. They're all just one color. You can put silly hats on them or whatever. When the game starts, everybody gets a screen that either says you're an imposter or that you're a survivor. And so no one knows who anyone is unless obviously they try to tell them. But the whole point of the game is to lie, kind of. If you're an imposter, which means you're trying to kill everybody, you want to trick people into thinking that you're one of the normal crew. And so what happens during the actual gameplay is that you're on this giant ship with rooms, and it's always the same map. And in each room, there's a couple of like almost mini puzzles that you have to complete, like tasks. And so like if it's like my job might be like I have to restore a computer in the cockpit, I need to start one of the engines, and I need to turn on a computer or something like that. And so the goal is to try to run around the ship and do those things, but you're like hesitant because if you're ever in a room by yourself with someone, they could kill you if they're the imposter. And what I didn't understand when I played it, and it's just because I'm old, right, middle-aged man over here, is that if Chance was the killer and he kills me, I can't be like, Chance, you asshole. Oh, I'm sorry. You cockahead. Because that spoils the fun. The idea is that if you get killed, you're just silent, like as in you are now dead. And so it's kind of like an honor system of doing that. But I mean, people that can follow the rules like that are fun. It's just because it's literally the same like 9-room ship. After I played like 10 games with the kids, I was like, I'm not having as much fun. And to be fair, like if I was playing with my close friends like you guys, we could obviously be a little bit more explicit and some choice words get thrown in there and stuff like that. Playing with my students, like there's a certain level of censorship that has to occur and stuff. And so it was fun. They enjoyed playing with their person at school. But it's just, I guess it's cool that it's coming to Xbox. It's not something I'll be honestly playing. There's other stuff I'd rather play instead. But it's cool. Good for them. I hope it goes well.
Chance, I'm assuming you don't have much to say. Okay, hard pass. Moving on to, this is a random one. I want to hear Chance's thoughts on this. Eoiden Chronicle 100 Heroes. I have no idea how you pronounce this. To be honest, when this came on, I honestly just kind of zoned out. This just didn't really speak to me. For some people, I'm sure they loved it. And Eoiden Chronicles 100 Heroes, take your turn-based strategy game experience to the next level with a fine-crafted 6-character battle system. Utilizing meticulously created 2D sprites and beautiful 3D backgrounds, Robert and Bear Studios delivers a riveting story and gameplay unlike any JRPG that has come before.
Except that
this
it
is
looks identical to Octopath Traveler.
that's what I was gonna say. I think I wrote that. I
So
said,
yeah,
RPG
unlike
looking
any,
like
yeah, no.
Octopath Traveler is what I
It
wrote.
looks which and what I will say of Octopath Travelers was that 2D with 3D backgrounds was gorgeous. That is it. That's all I can say about that game.
Yeah, I
The
remember you
story
said you
was
didn't like it. Yeah.
the gameplay was meh. Um, very forgettable. It looked cool.
Okay, Jose,
So Octopath Traveler 2 and 3 because
Okay.
they announced.
for all you RPG fans, please write in, tell us the review, and we'll feature it on the show. This one we may not. I don't have time for 100+ character huge RPGs.
Or just tell us how to pronounce it.
But what's weird is I saw a lot of people saying this is like on Twitter being super excited for this. And I guess it has a sequel already lined up. Remember, there were like 2 games in there at one point. So exciting. It's great that there's a JRPG in this showcase. Like, I'll get to that at the end. Moving on, The Ascent. I admit when I saw this, I said, this is coming out July 29th. And I said, I need to learn more about this because a lot of people are talking about this game. I know nothing about it. I remember I was distracted for some reason, so I didn't even really get to see much of the trailer. The Ascent is a solo and co-op action shooter RPG set in a cyberpunk world. The mega corporation that owns you and everyone, the Ascent Group, has just collapsed. Can you survive without it? The Ascent is entirely playable in solo or co-op, online and local up to 4 players, day one, Game Pass. Jose, did you see this or Chance? I admit I need to learn more about this, but I hear a lot of people being excited about this. Is this one you feel like you could play?
Trolls all of us.
Yes.
I don't know what I would do without that bulk food. But no, in all seriousness, I didn't get to see this trailer yet, but I was doing some of the reading before we started recording. Interesting. I like that it's both local and online. I think it's dope that you can do couch co-op with up to 4 people. That seems super rare in these days, and so definitely intriguing and could be fun. Why not? Especially because it's on Games Pass.
Yeah. So what I'm excited is that I hope it fixes what Outriders couldn't do for Chapeau and I, which is allow us to play without like me getting so far ahead that I can't even wait, or Jose getting so far ahead that he can't wait for me, but that we can drop in and drop out and still have fun together. Who knows? But just the way they described it, it sounded to me like there might be something like that.
Working for it as well as the release date, end of July. So right before we get into the fall crunch, maybe we'll have some free time then, or a gaming lull. So I plan on checking this out, and hopefully we'll have more to report back on that for the show. Up next was Age of Empires 4. Age of Empires 4 is what is this kind of game called?
Like SimCity.
I was going to say crappy, but
no, what is it called? Gosh.
Real-time strategy?
Yes, a real-time strategy game. I've never played any of the Age of Empires. For all you Age of Empires fans out there, probably listen to someone else talk about this. So I think we're going to move on to the next one. The next one was a I thought, hilarious reveal trailer. I had no problem with the way they did it, and that was Obsidian announcing the Outer Worlds 2. I did not think this was going to happen. I was very excited for this. Chance really wants to speak about it. Chance, go ahead.
Because that trailer was made for you. I was like, this is exactly what D. Wally said he didn't want, but they were making fun of it, right? Like, here's a bunch of garbage that won't be in the game and some loud noises. I loved it. Yeah. Absolutely loved it.
Made me want to play Outer Worlds.
Have you not?
No, of course I played it. Yeah, I beat it. I did everything.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
okay.
I enjoyed it. And I hear the last DLC is actually really good, like better than the base game, The Murder or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever the last DLC. I think
ACG
ACG was raving about it.
Yep,
so I think I might have to go back and play that DLC.
No, that trailer was so good. And Ashley even liked it. She's like, oh, this is funny. This speaks to me. I was like, yeah.
So I'm excited for Outer Worlds 2. I thought the first game was good, but I didn't love it, but I'm excited to see what they do with the jump. And I thought it was unique. It was kind of like a mix between Mass Effect, Fallout, but a more comedy. What would you want to see improved for the next one, Chance? Because I know you played it and had a lot of thoughts on it too.
Yeah, I think maybe a more variety in the environments would be one, and more places to go. And I know sometimes you don't necessarily like that because too big is certainly a thing, but I'd like to see a little more variety. I'll play it for sure, and I would have paid for it. I think what will always be nostalgic to me about the Outer Worlds was that felt like the first game that came to Game Pass that I was like, oh my God, what is this? What? Oh, what? And wait, this is free? I don't even have to pay money for this? Like, holy hell, this is incredible.
I was the same way. That was one of my first real games on Game Pass where I was like, this is awesome. And I could see the potential for the service. Jose, did you play Outer Worlds?
I did not. Again, not because I was against it. And you can also add this to the list of why you're going to boot me from the party. But
this all let slide.
No, I mean, but I remember seeing the trailer and hearing great things. And again, because it was on Game Pass, it's one I would love to go back and play it. You know, it's the time, man. I'm trying.
I know. You got stupid Cyberpunk to play, but Jose, if you do get time, it is worth it. And especially it's optimized, so it probably runs and looks and loads way quicker. You got to play it now. Like after you do Cyberpunk and Mass Effect, I definitely, if you can. And
play time on the main mission.
I remember they said it's not too long, but it can be long if you do everything. But if you just do the main campaign, no, it's what, probably 18? Would you say, Chad?
I say 19, 20. Yeah. I mean, you can get
that's totally doable.
It's cool, Jose. It'll definitely scratch a RPG Fallout mixed with Mass Effect is how I would describe it, with humor.
Moving on, I'm going to interject and announce the next game.
Oh my God, he knows what it is.
I'm going.
Here we go. I even though you know how excited I am for this.
Almost crapped my pants twice.
Amazing.
Twice. I was like, oh my, and I remember I grabbed Ashley. I was like, Flight Simulator is coming to Microsoft or to Xbox. Oh my God. I was like, Ashley, this is so cool. This is so cool. She's like, that looks like doesn't even look like a game.
And
I was like, no, it's and then
really lost it.
And I was like, I would have paid $200 for that game. And do you remember, did they say how much it's going to cost? I can't remember how much Game Pass charges per game.
Oh, yeah. It's free with your subscription to Game Pass.
Oh, it's free. Right. Cool. Because I would have paid $200 and another $200 for the Top Gun DLC.
Okay. So if you didn't get that, Microsoft Flight Simulator, July 27th. Top Gun is also being added. I flipped out, Chance, when that music started playing. I knew it as soon as it started happening because I've seen the damn... Yeah. Yeah, but they didn't even do that. It was because they've shown I've seen so many Top Gun Maverick trailers. Like I knew, I was like, this is Top Gun. Oh my God. Jose doesn't care, but Chance and I are huge Top Gun fans. Wow. I cannot wait. And I was excited to play Flight Simulator as it was, because of course I'm going to fly a plane and fly it over my house and see how beautiful the world is. And I put it on easy mode. I don't need to learn how to be a pilot right away. You know, I can't wait to play this. Jose, will you? You're not going to check it out. Whatever. Top Gun forever. Top Gun. And
here's the thing.
Oh, wait. I forgot that. November 19th is Top Gun, though, Chance. So we have to wait a while. Gosh.
And I think, though, that our wives would watch us playing and be like, well, wait a second. Now go to Fiji. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Vacation. Or wait a second. Well, wait. I want to see how realistic London is. Okay, we'll do that.
I hear it looks phenomenal. I can't wait.
Yeah, I've heard. It's worth. I would definitely check out Simulator, and I'm not hating on Top Gun. Great film. It'll be super cool. Great? DLC for it.
Yeah, one of the greatest of all time. Yeah, come on.
No, I will disagree there. Respectfully.
Right. There's another reason to boot you off this show. All right, back to intern for Jose. But what's going to be cool, though, actually, is that it's so, it's a simulator and realistic. We're going to be able to fly normal jets and, smaller planes and then, passenger jets. And then we're going to be able to fly real fighter jets and see how, different that is. So I can't. Flight Simulator. Who would have known that I'd be so excited to play Flight Simulator? And I've never played it in my life, but I am all aboard. But
how was this not one of my predictions? And it should have been we already
knew it was coming. They already said it was coming, so it wouldn't have counted. No, that we knew it was coming. But
you didn't know it was coming to E3, and you did exactly. Yes, you didn't know they were going to have a Maverick.
I
didn't know it was coming to E3.
That blew me away. Can't wait. But I'm gonna have to be honest. Interrupt. Another hype moment immediately followed, and I got this one 100%. except for the name, which I still think they should have done Forza Horizon Mexico. Forza Horizon 5, 11/5/21. Let's go, baby. It looked like one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. They had a deep dive with playground games. Everything in this game is beautiful. I said they added the events lab, which looks awesome. It looks like there's, that Grand Theft Auto crazy games with the cars. I cannot wait to play Forza Horizon 5. Incredible. This probably should be way higher on my list, but I'm super pumped. Dude, I can't wait. It looked incredible. And it was even a crappy, stream quality too. But yes. I knew I need to actually, I was planning on watching it. I'm going to watch it in 4K after we get done here. I need to see this game.
It's unbelievable. This is going to be a hot take. If I had to pick one game and I could only play one game and I had to never touch or pick up any other game, Forza Horizon 5.
So underrated. And
Sold.
I saw some people hating on it, like, oh, they spent too much time on Forza. Clearly have never played any of the Forza Horizon game. That made me so mad to read stuff like that.
Totally correct.
Forza Horizon is for everybody. Anybody can play the game and have it's. I remember Blessing from Kind of Funny was saying it's just one of the most positively reinforcing games he's ever played.
Yep.
And that's a great way of putting it. Everything about that game is positive reinforcement, fun, just the menu, some of the pause screen, like everything about it is just fun and positive. And I'm glad that Microsoft went out of their way to spend a huge amount of time on Forza Horizon 5 because Playground Games makes incredible games. They have not made a bad game, and they continue to get better and better and better. And they deserve to have the spotlight. I'm so happy, actually, the more I think about it, that they spent so much time on Forza Horizon. Bravo to the guys. Playground Games, you deserve so much more recognitions. I can't wait for Halo or for Fable. I can't wait for Forza Horizon. I love cars. I've been to Mexico, only Cancun. Can't wait to explore more of it with these 12K screenshots, or what did they get? 12K footage that they got.
They
get 12K, like 12 hours of the Mexico sky. I can't wait. Jose, give me some. Talk to me in Spanish right now about Forza Horizon 5, please. Sincerely, our only.
That's racist.
That's not racist. You speak Spanish.
No, you know what? So the only thing I want to inject for the record, love Forza. Super excited for 5. Like it is. That's the best way to put it. It is a super positive game. It's super easy. It can be silly at times and also very serious. You get beautiful cars. You get a huge variety of cars. Like you can literally drive like cars. Yeah, exactly. It is an awesome, awesome game, and of course, beautiful. Like it's always something that just has such incredible graphic fidelity. Yeah, and the radio is also dope. The one thing I just want to point out that I think is really poignant for those that like the historical aspect of Xbox is that Forza was like almost like a joke when it came out, the first gen one, right? Because it was competing with like Gran Turismo, and everyone was just like, what is Forza? It's just they're trying to fight. Because we also remember Project Gotham Racing we talked about on the original Xbox games. Like it was kind of they're trying to be their answer. But it's awesome to think that now 5 generations in, it is an incredible game and holds up. I mean, the fact that Shady said it would be the one game he'd play forever, I wouldn't choose that myself, but I think it does say a lot about the game, and it is an awesome game. I'm super excited for November for sure.
Go ahead, Chance.
About it is that you wait, and let's say 3 years from now, and we're looking back at hours spent, that will be, I'm going to guess right now.
For you.
And Battle Royale. So you said there was no Battle Royale in Battlefield and Halo, but there was in Forza Horizon.
Did you play 5? It was fun. I had fun. Never won. I got to the end.
I cannot say enough good things. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, shout out to Playground Games. I'm so happy the more I think about it that they got all that recognition and the time. They deserve it.
Very well deserved.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, it just like, and it just shows me, I remember thinking about that, like Microsoft gets it. They know, and it's not necessarily their bread and butter, right? Because that's your Halo, but it's like, no, these guys earned this. This was as well done as can be. It made me, I am embarrassed to say this, I realized I had never played Fortune Island. And of course it was only $8. And so I went and downloaded that, and I'll be going back. I know. I don't know how.
You haven't even played?
Yeah,
Dude,
but
the
so how
weather's
cool
awesome.
for me, right? Because now
Yeah.
it's
You get
Series
to
X,
experience
and
you for it before. Oh,
yeah,
I'm
I
jealous.
think I was on when I was downloading it when you jumped on. I was like, oh, Dan's gonna see I'm playing Forza Horizon 4.
Oh man. Yeah, what's awesome too is I didn't buy the last one, but I bought the season pass, of course, and the map. Oh my, I love Forza. And like you said, they deserve it. I'm so happy for Playground Games. I'm gonna tweet about that. Like they deserve all of the credit. So shout out, you're right, to Microsoft for recognizing that and saying, hey, let's give Forza a spotlight. And even though, and I hated seeing comments like in the streams being like, too much Forza, or there's this killed all their momentum. No, Forza was awesome. Forza Horizon 5, shout out, cannot wait. Closing the show, we got to the end, boys. We're only an hour and a half. This is gonna be a long one. This is gonna be a long one. Phil Spencer comes out in his 20th anniversary shirt, and he reiterated that 27 of the 30 games are on Game Pass. Flexbox on games shown and being created. They also showed some of the other games that we knew about, just to remind us, hey, there's still Gears, there's still Avowed, there's still the new Forza Motorsport. There's still others, and I actually think they did such a good job of this conference. The more I'm thinking about it, because they didn't show stuff that they had showed before, but they remind us, hey, we're still working on those too. Don't worry. And that's going to be in the future, celebrating that 20-year anniversary. And he did say some other things, and I wish I wrote them down, but I think he did such a great job just celebrating, like, we have so many different games coming. We have so many games in the work. Thank you to you guys. It's all focused around you. And then he closes with the one more thing. Arcane Studios, one of my personal favorites, who have made Prey and the what's the other ones? The sneaky one, Dishonored series. But all that matters to me is Prey. Redfall, summer 2022. Vampires, 4 players. Vampires is what I wrote. I wasn't personally blown away from this. Like, I was blown away with the Top Gun and then Forza Horizon. I was like, all right, you could have ended the show with that for me. Again, as Chance is probably this, I think you brought up, you wanted to bring up that this was a all CGI trailer, which of course, you know how I feel about that. But I'll give it a pass because this was the first time we saw from it. I'm interested. It looks cool. It looks unique. It's a new IP. I think I get a point for this one. Tell me what you guys are thinking about. How did you feel about Redfall? I'm interested to hear what you guys thought about it.
I think it's a cool premise. I mean, it's not a new premise in terms of like movies and stories, like, right, a team of unknowns taking on a legion of vampires. Like, that's actually a pretty common theme in movies and games, but it seems dope. And I truly trust Arcane Studios, especially after you forced me to play Prey, which was absolutely phenomenal. For those listeners that have never played Prey or never even given it a second look, it is such a good game. So I'm really excited. And of course, because it's next gen, I hope that they take the time with it. I guess that'd be my only maybe kind of concern, is that because at least as far as I know with Prey and Dishonored, not a lot of online stuff. It's kind of their first foray into that world. And my concern is if it's online, the server issue, right? It's like it comes back again and again, especially when a studio is new to it. So that's my only kind of mini concern. But otherwise, I think it looked cool. I'm excited for it, even though the trailer didn't show a whole lot.
Yeah. And let me just add, before Chance goes, I think you're right. I need to give Arcane, I think it was Austin, more credit and trust that this game is going to be good. Like, I'm disappointed because I wanted Prey 2 selfishly. That's probably realistically what it is. But you're right. They've made Dishonored and Prey. This game is probably going to be way better than I'm giving it credit. I think I was just so high from Forza Horizon. And then it was this long CGA trailer. I was like, yeah, that's cool. I like the idea of, I've never really played a vampire game, nor thinking about it. So it looked cool and unique. Chance, why don't you close off with your thoughts with Redfall?
I'm excited to see what they do with the drivatars, because isn't that going to be a little bit different?
They did have lots of data on drivatars for Forza
more,
Horizon 5. You're right.
Yeah, realistic. So I'm excited about that. I'm curious what other franchise they're going to bring in. So, the Horizon 3 had the Hot Wheels, 4 had the Legos. Like,
I thought we were talking about Redfall.
Oh, yeah, Redfall. Sorry. No, it looked cool. It looked good. I was just on a high. I was seeing Top Gun and packing my bags for Mexico. And so they could have announced anything there. Maybe not anything. There's one out there that I still would have, but what I thought was super cool that I don't know that we touched on, and you kind of started to with the Phil Spencer stuff, was how cool was it? And man, I would have loved to have had a PlayStation fanboy sitting next to me. How cool was it? Every 5 seconds, you felt you got that day one Game Pass, right? Like available only on Game Pass or available on Game Pass.
Gaming. We're here to celebrate gaming. Let's not feed the fanboys.
No, I know,
Shade.
but right, like how just I was sitting there again, just like this is incredible. Every
You know what's
single
funny though, Chance, is I saw someone tweet a picture in the chat saying, "I'm so sick of Game Pass," and then the comment beneath it, "Game Pass is incredible. Is amazing." who says I'm sick of Game Pass? Like
Someone
that's
who
what I
doesn't
want
have
to
Game
know.
Pass.
Like, how pathetic? How could you be sick
I
of
don't
something that's
yeah.
giving you 27 games for $15 a month? Anyway, I hate seeing stuff like that. There was one more extra thing: Xbox Series X mini fridge this holiday 2021. Jose, if I don't see that behind you in this,
Jose did it first.
I made
It's
my
like
own mini fridge. It's in my office at
80
school right now.
Oh yeah,
Jose.
that's right.
He wins. He did it. It's like the Simpsons did it. Like no, Chappelle did it. Microsoft, come on.
Yeah,
Jose already made that a year ago, I think.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's in my office right now. If I got the photo, I'll pull it up for the
Yeah,
fans.
pull
No,
it
but
up.
it's,
Yeah, bring it up.
I do actually. I'm curious what it will go for, because I don't know if you ever saw any of the
I'm gonna buy one.
unboxings. I know that like Snoop Dogg got one. I know iJustine got one of the
Those were
actual
like
full size.
huge. Yeah,
But
the full
dude,
size.
if that showed up at my door, I would find a way to fit that. I put that on my patio, I put that in my bar.
Awesome.
That would be so so dope, dude. So it's cool that they really are doing the mini fridges. Hopefully they're just affordable, and if they actually make enough of them, because that's my concern. Is they're gonna be like, it's a limited run of like 200, and you're like, okay, well, I'm never gonna see one of those in my life. So, but exciting. I love that stuff.
Yeah, and I just want to go. What are your thoughts on the conference overall? I tweeted out. I don't know if you saw my tweet, and I'll pull it up. I basically said that I thought this was the best Microsoft E3 conference ever. Or at least, and some guy quoted, "You're dreaming back in 2008." Oh, he responded to me. Well, cool. But anyway, I said that Xbox Bethesda Showcase was the best E3 2021 conference that Xbox has ever had. It showed us such a diverse lineup of games that we can enjoy soon, but also reminding us of the great games we can look forward to in the future. And that's what I said. Bravo to Phil Spencer, Deacon, Sarah Bond, and Todd Howard, the people who were there. And I want to add, I really liked how they didn't show Phil Spencer until the very end, and he was just briefly there. I liked how they started out with those Bethesda people and Sarah Bond in there having that female presence, and such an incredibly diverse selection of games. I didn't see, no offense to Sony, a third-person action adventure RPG game, open world, every 5 seconds. Like, that's what they're known for. That's great. There's literally, if you can't find something on here to play that excited you, something's wrong with you. If you can't be excited for one of or a few of these games, something is wrong. Like, just looking back, we've got first person shooter, first person Sea of Thieves, 12 minutes top down, Psychonauts platformer, Fallout, ESO, Party Animals, family game, Hades, completely different. I don't even know what's that, roguelike, Somerville, a unique game, Halo, Diablo, action RPG, Far Cry, Slammer, like all these games are Among Us, Grounded, so different. So go ahead, Chance.
Well, I just thought of one that I don't know if we skipped it or not, but Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Oh yeah,
I skipped that, right?
Yeah,
like that was kind of cool. Well, but and I get it, and I guess but that was kind of cool that I want to say that might have been an E3 first, right? Where it was like, hey, you don't have to wait for this one. It's here now. And I know that's not a new game, but I actually tried to download it. It wasn't on the Game Pass yet.
No, I want to play it too, because I hear it's like a good one if you're trying to get in but don't want to play all the others. It's like, and it's completely different, and they're going to stick with that style now. But anyway, I just want to emphasize, overall, I think this was a phenomenal conference. I don't remember before Xbox One, maybe since Xbox One came, it absolutely, to me, was the best one. Like the games, the pacing of the show. I loved how they focused on Forza at the end, the diverse lineup of games. And so there's still more games. Like, I love how they even close at the end very briefly, Phil talking about the other games. Like, hey, don't worry, we've got all these other ones too. So for me, my top 10 excited for list, I'm going to share it with you guys right now. Number 1, Halo Infinite. I'm sorry, I'm going to go 1 to 10 just because I want to chance. 2, Forza Horizon 5 for me, and I know that was your number. You said that would be your number 1. Then I said Battlefield, Far Cry 6, replaced. I did put replaced above Somerville. Flight Sim, Top Gun, baby, Psychonauts, Sea of Thieves, Pirates, and Starfield last. And the only reason I put Starfield at the end is because that's so far out. Most of these are coming soon, so my list is really about. I know I'm going to be able to play these soon. So, Jose, do you have a list ready, or should I go to chance?
You can go to chance, but I just want to show this for the viewers that are watching. There's my Xbox fridge for my office,
that is
right there,
phenomenal.
and you can see it actually lights up green inside. I built it from a fridge.
Oh my god, he's even
there.
got the green LED lights inside.
Of course he does.
Okay, if you're an audio listener, you need to watch. We're at an hour and 38 minutes. Go watch the video. Wow, Jose did do it first.
It's in my office right now, and the Xbox actually lights up on the outside. You can turn it on and off. It doesn't make the startup sound, but that was a little too advanced for me. But it's
don't
still,
show
anyway.
that to Microsoft, you'll get sued. But Chance, give me your overall thoughts on the conference and your top 10 exciting games.
I just loved it. I was smitten. It was such a well done, like not too long. I felt like if it had kept going and they said everything, that I would have probably had to tune out for a little bit. But like you said, just really well done. How do you, if you were sitting there, and this might be hard to imagine, I don't know if anybody in the nerd chat, if you're sitting there and you don't have Game Pass, did you had to go immediately buy it, right? Especially because then it's $1 for 3 months. So you're like, well, geez, why not? But yeah, just so well done. So my top 10, 1 to 10, 1 through 5 are all shredders, right? So shredders, that gets 1 through 5. I will be playing that day one. I'm hoping to play it while shredding myself with the cloud gaming on my phone. So that's 1 through 5. And then, Forza Horizon 5 is going to be, that's my number 1. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but it absolutely is. And I could see us playing it just as much as Battlefield and Halo. And so then Halo Infinite would be number 2, Battlefield number 3, Party Animals. Party Animals is absolutely number 4 for me, and I don't feel like I need to apologize for that. I just have really high hopes for it. And then the Microsoft Flight Simulator, of course. Honorable mention, just barely didn't make it, is Replaced.
And your excitement for a few of your games.
I mean, I'm extremely excited about everything that we saw, and I think it kind of hits on what you were saying too, Dan. Is what I think is so impressive about this conference is that, you know, after we hear the hate kind of that Rock Quarry talked about last week about how PlayStation selling Xbox 2 to 1, like that kind of stuff. And again, it's not that number really matters to us. We love Xbox, but I think it's incredibly awesome that they could have theoretically spent the whole conference on Halo, Forza, and Battlefield, and people would have been pumped because they're awesome IPs. They look gorgeous. They're going to run like ballers on the system. They could have done that. And instead they said, we're going to give you almost 30 games. And then at the end to point out that almost all of them are free if you're a Game Pass subscriber. I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater of the PlayStation. Again, if that's your system, that's your system. Mad respect about that. But you have to admit to some degree that you're like, man, it kind of sucks that I am dropping $60 to $70 for every title that I want to play next gen versus someone who has a Games Pass who comparatively you can just jump around. Like let's say you get really into Ascent and then you're like, I didn't think I was going to get that. I wouldn't have paid $50 for that, but that's awesome. Or maybe someone gets into Flight Sim and they're like, I didn't really like it, but I dropped $80 on it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the DLC stuff. I just think it's incredible what they're doing. The vision that Microsoft has for this is awesome. And it speaks really well to what they said. Satya Patel, right? He said in one of the interviews, like I think it was this week, he said, we are all in on gaming. All in. As Microsoft, as the head of Microsoft, I think that speaks volumes and it makes me really excited for the future. That's my thought.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for mentioning that. Is it Satya? I don't know how to say his first name, but yeah, exactly. The CEO of Microsoft saying we are all in. And I think Phil Spencer also said something in where our 23 or more studio or whatever, how many studios, basically it left some people questioning, are they going to buy more? Which they probably will, but all in on gaming. They see the potential. They're backing it up fully with Microsoft money, obviously with a $7.5 billion for Bethesda. So if you're an Xbox owner or actually just a Game Pass owner, you have a lot to be excited for these 27 unique different games. So we have finally covered all the Xbox conference. Do you guys have any extra thoughts on some of the other ones? I kind of just we'll just finish with this and then the best things we ate this week. But I was going to say, do you want to talk about at Ubisoft? I didn't really see anything that I really want to mention. Chance, did you see anything that grabbed you on the Ubisoft show? Okay. Should we do it next week? Or, I mean, to be honest,
I mean,
yeah,
I think we could do
just save it. We could just save it for next week's news. But I feel like we're going to get more news this week.
Well, but maybe that's what we do next week is maybe we kind of cover the rest of it after the Bethesda Microsoft showcase. The one thing I will say that I didn't say earlier that I concerned again is not the right word, but like, I don't know what I'm going to do for hard drive space. Like that is a legitimate concern I'm starting to think about. Because when you start thinking about Battlefield is going to be massive, Forza is going to be massive, Flight Simulator is going to be massive, like that's going to start making those conscious decisions.
You're going to have to buy that Seagate.
Yeah, I'm going to buy that little expansion card. I didn't do that yet. It's on my list. But excited. I mean, again, because it just shows the effort and caliber and scale that we're going to be seeing in the next year or two, which is sweet.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're just going to have to buy that thing. Hopefully, it'll be dropped down to like $150. But hopefully, some of those games will be like, won't they be? No, the ones you just mentioned are all going to.
No, they're all going to run off your system. Yeah,
but those three will fit on your hard drive. I guarantee that. So you just
I'm going to have to finally drop that like 280 gig COD file that I have on my drive right now.
You're gonna have to move those to you have an external, right, with all your Xbox One games.
Yeah, I'll throw them there for sure.
There you go.
You've got that nice download speed too, so I can pick it up if I need to.
Let's close the game. By the way, we need to figure out what's going on at Riverside in your upload. I'm so pissed right now. I hate you guys at Riverside. What are you doing to us? We're trying to have a good podcast here. Let's close off with the best food you had this week. Would anyone like to start? I have a few ideas here.
You go ahead and start, Dan. I got to collect my thoughts here.
Chance, go ahead.
We got some Havarti dill, which is just amazing. Yeah, Havarti dill cheese. Come on, Dan.
So
from
pickle
Sprouts,
cheese?
Basically, yeah. And they like slice it real thin, and it's absolutely incredible. And I was eating it on sandwiches all week.
You got to get the Havarti green chili, dude. It's amazing. You can get it at King Supers. That will knock your socks right off. But it sounds delicious.
I'll go. We went. I didn't want to share this. I was supposed to meet up with Jose last night, but we didn't talk about that. I was at my brother-in-law's birthday party last night, and home-cooked food, and my sister-in-law, Allie's sister, made this hot corn dip. And basically it was just a bunch of cheeses put together with bits of corn. And it was amazing, guys. I ate so much of this cheesy hot corn dip. And so we asked for the recipe immediately. And once I find out what it is, I will share it with you. So hot corn dip. And then right before the show, I had some vanilla Yoplait Originals yogurt. Man, vanilla yogurt, you guys. It was incredible. Just shout out to Yoplait. Jose, what did you have this week?
Topping that.
Yoplait yogurt. They have the like medallion from like The Office. You made a gold chain. No, best thing I had was this place called Perry's New York Pizza. It's in River Point, which is near like Santa Fe and Hampton, if you live in that southwestern Denver area. But really, really good pizza. We had the I forgot what it was called, but it was like the meat pizza. It definitely had like bacon and steak and pepperoni and sausage. It was really awesome. And then as an appetizer, we had green chili fries with white ketchup. They called it white ketchup. It was like a modified ranch, and it was phenomenal. So if you have it's a chain, it's new to our area, but if it's around you, Perry's Pizza, check it out. It's super good.
Earl House in Parker. There's one off of Lincoln, and loved it because it's thin pizza, right? Thin and
yeah, super thin, great crust too.
Style, would you say?
It's New York style. It's not like floppy New York style. Like it's a little more robust in the crust. That's rhymes. But it was really good.
Yeah, and did you guys have anything that you were into this week? I would like to share that I was into shooting hoops. I've been practicing for OGB. Just a reminder for you guys out there, I'll be streaming games next week, next Wednesday, twitch.tv/DaddyDwally. Old Guy Basketball League is starting up, Team OGB. And so this week I've been into going out in the 90-degree heat and shooting hoops for about 45 minutes and sweating and getting my shots in because I'm ready for OGB, guys. So that's another thing I wanted to share that I was into this week. Hot, sweaty, balling out at Coyote Gulch Park. Remember that. Jose, were you in anything? Are you good?
I told you my sprinkler system, it is finally complete. The complete rebuild went successfully, no major leaks, and I'm actually putting all my dirt back tomorrow to kind of clean up my yard and stuff, but it just feels really good, right? A shout out to all those weekend warriors, DIYers. Like, I swear to you, you can just watch YouTube videos and try it yourself, and with a little bit of practice and some God willing luck, you can do it. So that was what I was into this week. Super excited. Also, officially, tomorrow is technically my first day of summer vacation, where I no longer have to get up for my work alarm and that kind of stuff. So I'm super pumped about that. Finally going to get through Mass Effect and Cyberpunk, and then I'll hit this backlog of games so I can get out of the doghouse in Dan's eyes.
Oh, doghouse for me. I want to add on the sprinkler really quick. I had some random people working on my neighbor's yard. I asked them to come check out our sprinklers. They got the front working. We're all good on the front. They got the back, zone 3 working. Zone 4 might be buried underneath our new cement patio, but they're going to come out in July. It's only one area that's not being sprayed, but I can get that with a manual hose sprinkler. So I have sprinklers in all of our yard, you guys. So
you're going to need it. It's going to be over 100, like 5 days this week.
Guys, it's going to be like straight up upper 90s for our listeners out here in Colorado. It's going to be, I used to be like, I can't wait for summer. I love the heat. And now I'm like, oh my, you can't take the kids anywhere. I just realized it's too hot. They die out there.
The F boys just got back from Mexico, and there were days it was hotter here than it was there. And obviously we don't have the humidity, but it's like, come on.
Yeah,
come on, people.
These 90 degrees are a little early and seem a little random for this time of year. Usually we don't get those until July, August. We're hitting those 90s a little early. But
plus, and I found this pamphlet at the Walmart in town, and they said global warming wasn't real. So I don't get it.
Right. Well, guys, I'm going to be playing Mass Effect. And, I did want to say I downloaded this game that I heard from another podcast, Unto the End, on Game Pass. I'll give a review on that. I just want to let you know it's a quick little kind of like, I don't know if you played Another World. I'm very excited to play it. So I'll report back to you guys on this. Unto the End, a shorter game.
Of next week, hopefully my because it's finished.
Maneater.
It's just obviously Maneater review, official review.
Nice.
So
all right, so next week, guys, let's plan on covering the rest of the stuff we missed from the other conferences, and we'll also hear from Nintendo or maybe PlayStation this week. I don't know, but for sure Nintendo. And yeah, thank you to all of our listeners. I hope you enjoyed our E3 reaction video. Like I mentioned before, if there wasn't something here that you liked, then I don't know what to say. I thought this was a great conference, such a diverse lineup. Shout out again to Forza Horizon 5. So proud of Playground Games. And as far as the show, you can follow us at Xbox Record This on all social media. You can follow Chipotle Bear at Chipotle_Bear. You can follow me at Daddy Duwala. You can follow Chance at N7 Endorsement on Instagram for his lame Instagram stories. And you can also find out more about the show on xboxrecordthis.com. Hopefully Riverside will come through. Let me make another clip. Riverside, stop screwing us. And as always, gentlemen, see you online.
We'll see you online.
We'll see you online.
Xbox Record This as a podcast created by Daniel Walenzik. You can follow him at Daddy Diwali on Twitter. You can also follow the show at Xbox Record This on Twitter and various social media. You can also find out more at xboxrecordthis.com.